If you like boys, babes, and boobs and beers, long ass mullets and Norris's beard, kicking ass and getting it done, and ending every catchphrase with a click of a gun. If you like hand grenades and ninja stars, taking out henchmen and finding bars, big rabbit dogs and haunted cars, we're talking about keeping life rated R. Keeping life rated R.
Hey, what's up, all you horror fans, horror freaks, geeks, nerds, dweeps, turds, basement dwellers, and of course, all you mouth breathers out there. What is up? Happy Halloween! It's October 31st, my favorite day of the year, even more than Christmas, even more than my birthday, even more than Wizzel's birthday.
What?
Halloween, yes. And I don't know how it happened, but somehow Wizzel's back. What's
I'm
up,
here.
man?
Yeah, you know why? It's because I like ninja stars. So, just like the intro said.
Exactly, yeah. Like Wizzel, I haven't seen you for a while. Like the last thing we did together was a Friday the 13th. I think it was Friday 3 we did or something. Like it's been a while. Been like
maybe
a year and a half or
2 years
something.
ago. I know, but yeah.
And it was a good time, of course, as always. And Wizzel here is from a show called Banana Laser Show. You will find his show on YouTube. Just type in Banana Laser Show. And it's a great show. If you haven't seen it or heard it, check it out. And he's got a lot of great retrospectives and fan commentaries on there of all of our favorite franchises.
The name says it all. I mean, Banana Laser.
I know. I mean, how can you go wrong with a banana laser? I've been a big fan for a long time, as everybody knows. It's no news. But if you're new to the channel, definitely check out Matt's show. Wizzel, if you're nasty. Banana Laser on YouTube. Yep. Thanks for being here, dude. How are you? Nice to see you again.
Doing great, man. It's great to see you. Happy Halloween. I always love sitting down with you and doing commentaries, man. It's never a dull moment. So looking forward to this. I haven't rewatched this movie in a few years, I think, probably, honestly. So I'm excited to see it again.
Yeah. When was the last time you watched it, you think? Was it when you guys did your
show? Probably a podcast about it. And since then, I've seen the sequels multiple times, and I've got a lot of different feelings and opinions about those that have grown and changed. And so I'm anxious to see this one again and see if any of that is different, after seeing those. So,
yeah, absolutely. Like, I remember when I first saw, well, first of all, tonight we're watching Halloween 2018. This is a fan commentary for David Gordon Green's Halloween. Of course, all the
Halloween 2.
Yeah, technically, yeah. The
third movie called Halloween. Like, the balls on these people.
I know. I couldn't believe. I just thought that was really baffling that they chose to, because now everybody has to call it Halloween 18 or the Halloween reboot or something. I don't know what, but it's basically, this movie is a rebooted franchise. So they were going to already plan to make 3 of these. There's Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. But the original movie is called Halloween, right? So now we have to call that Halloween 78. And we have to call this one Halloween 18. It's really strange. Like there isn't enough confusion in the franchise already. Like you've said before in your podcast, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure at this point.
Yeah.
There's so many ways you can go. It's branched off in so many different directions. But
the one sequel we didn't get, unfortunately, was a Dan Chalice and Dr. Loomis team up to go on adventures. That seems like a no-brainer. It doesn't even have to involve Halloween or Michael Myers at all, but they're just kind of like, it would be like a 60-minute 70s TV show or whatever. They just get into new adventures each week. I think that's a good idea.
They definitely, I mean, that's like the layup they keep ignoring, man. It's like,
there's probably some fan fiction out there.
Do it while everybody's still alive, like get out there and make a Season of the Witch sequel or something, But
yeah, that'd be cool.
So they called it Halloween. And when this movie came out, went to the theater to go see it. Obviously, I was super excited for it, and I was like real into it, man. When it came out, I was like walking out of the theater. I was like, that was like a Halloween movie. I think one of the things that really stuck with me because I'm such a visual person is that I thought the shape was like really good. Like I thought they got Michael Myers like perfect. I thought James Jude Courtney was really good. I thought the mask was really good. The body, like
The
the
butt.
body language of the shape was perfect. And so I was really happy about that because as we all know in the sequels previously, especially the ones in the 80s, it just was a little off. I mean, we still love those guys, but it just they hadn't really honed in on the essence, Michael, in my opinion. Dick Warlock, I think, did his own thing. It was a strong performance. George Wilbur, I don't hate it, but you can go like a little bit goes a long way with Michael Myers. It's kind of like Jason, I guess, in that regard too, where it's like there's little subtleties in the body language that make a big difference. I feel like, but how did you feel about that? Were you real excited when you came out of the theater? What did you think? Your initial reaction to this movie?
Loved it big time. Watched it 2 nights in a row. Thursday night, they went back Friday night, watched it again. I just absolutely loved it because, yeah, you're right. Even though, we do like watching Halloween 4 and 5 sometimes and 6, but,
Five.
yeah. But, this one just felt like a true sequel. And I think it's not just because Jamie Lee Curtis is here. That doesn't really, she's not really a selling point for me.
Mhm.
But the fact that, they got Michael Myers seemingly correct from jump. Like you said, the look of him is great. The movements, everything he does, I think is perfect. In all the other movies, even Halloween 2, he does stuff in the film that's like, it seems out of character. Like when he does that
Jump
kill,
up.
yeah, the jump up kill.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I get why you did it. It's a jump scare, but
Right.
this seemed very consistent and true. And so that's why I loved about it.
Absolutely, yeah. Strongest part of the movie, the writing. So when I saw the movie, I felt really good about it. This is just, I guess, we're doing a really quick recap. I was really into it. Then I think it went on streaming, or maybe I got the Blu-ray pretty quick. They dropped the Blu-ray, and I rewatched it, and I just started having this like remorse for I don't know what it was, but I was like, man, my feeling about the movie's really changed. Like the writing really started to it really started to grate on me. Like there were some really bad lines and
the talking stuff. Yeah,
all the talking stuff. They didn't really pull off the Deborah Hill portion of the movie that well, but and I was like, I don't know if I like this movie. I'm not sure if it really holds up after the end, because you go to the movie, you see the initial thing in the theater with all the other fans or other patrons in the theater, and there's an energy there, and so you're riding that wave. But when you're alone and you watch it over and over again, it's like this line's coming up, like oh, I got peanut butter on my penis or whatever. You're like, oh man, I really wish I could just delete that line from the movie, and you begin finding more and more line. So I guess as any typical horror fan, you start nitpicking it and stuff. Now, to be fair, as time has gone on, we're already 5 years away from the opening of this movie, and we have 2 sequels obviously that came after, with a little pause there for COVID, but I've actually kind of circled back around. I've started to enjoy the movie a little bit more and sort of like, be a little less, I don't know, judgmental of the movie and stuff. So, because all the Halloween movies all have those kind of like bad lines and things that you don't like about them. A lot of them are actually pretty bad. But I'm actually kind of becoming more fond of 2018 as time goes on. So, did you find yourself like kind of doing that too, or did you have your own
No, not really. I mean, the things that bothered people, like some of the dialogue and stuff, never really bothered me. I didn't really have any nitpicks or too many things to complain about, I don't think. And I don't think I still do. I waffled quite a bit on the follow up, and I went from totally hating that one to it's probably my favorite one of this trilogy right now. So I'd say the second, the two follow ups, I definitely have gone back and forth on quite a bit, but this one always stayed fresh to me. I never had a dip in appreciation or anything.
So you hit your stride with this movie pretty early on. You kind of knew what it was and decided that, hey,
it felt good to me. Yeah, nothing, no decisions that they made felt too much. I know, like the penis line and that little boy is really, he's something else. He's over the top, and then the two cops talking about a fucking sandwich, and it's like,
oh yeah,
I get that can be annoying and stuff, but that it felt natural to me, so it never bothered me really.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and the kills are really good, so which is great.
That definitely holds this movie up for sure. Like I feel like all the Michael stuff I really enjoy. So, but let's not ramble on too long here. We're all here for a nice fan commentary, some bullshitting around, some drinks, some jack-o'-lanterns. I got my freshly cut jack-o'-lantern right here behind me, and we've got it queued up right at 30. Okay, so I'm on a Blu-ray. Are you streaming it or?
Yeah, I have my digital download, so it should be the same version.
Should be the same. I think there's
from the 4K. Point, yeah, so
as of right now, only one version. But anyway, we've got it paused at the Miramax logo. It's 35 seconds in, and we're just gonna go ahead and count down, hit play. So in 3, 2, 1, and go. I remember really digging the pumpkins reinflating, like as a sort of like letting the fans know, like, hey, the franchise is back, like
coming
breathing life back into it. Yeah, I thought that was clever. It's something different,
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Halloween 5 has got that one of the best openings. Just the flashes of the knife cutting something.
Isn't that in the actual soundtrack? Like when you listen to it?
I don't know, but I actually
the knife swipes are in there and stuff.
I do like that soundtrack. I discovered when I was doing the Banana Wizzel shows years ago and using a lot of the music. I mean, it's not like your typical Halloween music, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Howarth, is that his name? Alan Howarth?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
One thing I always think about when you start this movie is, I don't know why, because it's not like astounding or anything, but the sound design, I guess it's not really design, it's just what they have. Everything seems so, I don't know, it's clean and crisp to me in a way that I don't even know how to describe it.
Like just in a modern filmmaking sort of way?
I guess so. It's literally just these moments before these podcasters come in. It's like settling me in with a cozy ear blanket for some reason, even though it's just mundane talking going on.
You know what? One of the things I really didn't like, one of the things that actually after the first time I saw it and all that, like was like that whole like setup with the podcasters, didn't like it. I was like, it just didn't need to be there or whatever. They could have figured a more streamlined way to reintroduce, but I kind of feeling like I get why they did it, because they have to reintroduce the whole story and everything to your average film, moviegoer or whatever. An easy way to do it, just have these guys come in and talk about everything real quick and then kill them off,
And true crime is huge.
Right.
I don't listen to any true crime podcasts really, but I know how big it is. And so that to me made sense, because if he actually did kill 3 people or 4 or whatever in 78,
and a dog.
That could be an episode or short series just based on this person.
Yeah, I think it's just maybe the characters like didn't really. I don't understand like why they're kind of like, what, they got the British accents, or whether they fly to the States to do this podcast, or it just, I think the problem
Your
was is that
xenophobia is coming out.
yeah, those damn Brits. No, it just I was expecting some sort of spooky intro to bring us into the vibe of the movie, and really, this was like kind of like a dry, formal reintroduction.
Well, yeah, like imagine if instead of having the 78 portion at the beginning of part 2, what if it was just the opening of this movie? You probably like that a lot better.
It was interesting to see how they like kind of like solved, I don't know, some of the issues that they were facing with bringing this movie back, having hacked off everything after the original movie. I was actually surprised they dumped 2, but I guess it makes sense. I mean, in a way, I guess that movie was sort of like a, I don't know, redhead stepchild. I mean, according to Carpenter, anyway, he was always kind of like hated that movie. Was a cash grab sort of thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
They probably didn't want to have to work in the family thing into it either, but
no, and I felt like that was a positive move all the way around, because that's one of the lead weights that held down those sequels,
yeah.
And then by the time you get to Curse and they're trying to describe the curse, we've done a commentary on that. I've seen that movie countless times, and I still don't understand what the Thorn Cult.
Oh yeah, it's very convoluted. It doesn't help that there's 2 cuts of the movie that we've probably seen equal amounts of times, and they're both very different. They diverge at a certain point in the movie. And I watched the P cut again the other day. I was like, wow, this is really different from the theatrical. I forgot how different it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the theatricals got way more fast cuts, and even though it's a lot of the same scenes, it's just edited completely different.
Yeah. Really, really far-fetched that he'd be able to get his hands on that mask.
I know, and it's
just handle it and shit.
It's not even in an evidence bag or anything.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, just go ahead and take it.
A little bit of artistic license.
But I mean, it's kind of a gripping. I mean, to me, it is. It's kind of a gripping thing. It's like, here's your mask. Don't you miss it? Like
it's like they're trying to get the wheels of the old machine going again. Like they got to get the hype going and like reunite Michael with his mask. And I guess they had to solve that problem. How do we get Michael's mask back? We have to be able to get it into his hand somehow. And I guess he wasn't going to hit up the hardware store again this time, but.
Yeah, those things really started to go downhill in the 80s. The types of masks they were carrying at that hardware store.
Yeah, right.
But I even, I like Zartane. I mean, the twist is kind of like, it really threw me off, and I was like, I don't know about that. But I like him in the beginning here, and he's talking to him very softly like a kid, and even though he's been with him for years at this point, I do like that. I don't like how Jamie Lee Curtis just calls him the new Loomis.
I didn't like that either, dude. I was like, okay, they're either doing that as a tongue-in-cheek or a joke, or they're like trying to tell the audience, it's like point blank to your face, like this is this character. But as soon as I saw him on a screen, I kind of got a sense of his character. I was like, all right, like they must have realized in pre-production that they need, like, because Loomis is such an important element of the original Halloween.
Yeah,
huge, important. I mean, all the gravitas of the movie, like of that character stuff. Loomis, right?
It's like, Dracula needs a Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no one's going to be there to stop him. That kind of thing.
So they wanted to kind of have a fake Loomis in there, and that's kind of what he is. He's interesting, I guess, but the twist for me, like, I mean, I guess it's not as as assaulting to my enjoyment now as it was back then, but I don't know. It's like, oh man, that's so dumb. You know what I mean? Like the penknife to the neck and just
I
everything.
feel like if you were going to break him out like that and let him loose, he probably would have done it a long time ago.
Yeah. Maybe he
if
just
that
saw an opportunity where he could do it and then maybe not get blamed for it, you know?
Right. I guess, yeah, maybe he's just waiting for that perfect moment. 40 years later or whatever, 30 years.
So you guys were talking about this incarnation of Laurie Strode. And you know, you were debating the pros and cons of H2O Laurie and this Laurie and going this direction with Laurie and whatnot. And I have to say, I'm more I dig this Laurie. I mean, I think it kind of makes sense, you know. Like one of the things you were talking about was like, why wouldn't she just leave town? Like, why would she stick around for 40
Yeah.
years or whatever? And I have my thoughts on that. You know, I mean, I think if you were like severely traumatized by this one night of your life or whatever, and like you had the right mentality, the right type of personality, you would become this person to reclaim your power or just out of pure revenge to kill Michael or protect your family or something. And then your whole life became consumed with creating this cocoon to basically wait,
Yeah.
you know, for him to escape or, you know, get your revenge, to kill him, to protect yourself or whatever. Kind of makes sense to me. I don't know. It seems to me more like a natural, and I agree with what you said too. The H2O version of Laurie could make sense in this alternate universe or whatever, but this makes sense to me as a natural thing that would happen.
Yeah,
As
I think it
extreme
makes
as it
sense
is.
too.
Yeah.
I think it makes perfect sense. I guess ultimately my point about all that is I, you know, I mean, I love Jamie Lee Curtis and I love the character of Laurie Strode in the first film, but that's about it for me. Like the fact that she's back in these movies and it's her family and stuff again, doesn't isn't like a selling point for me in any kind of way. I mean, I'm glad she's here and she does a great job, but you know, I think that's why I like Kills more because she's really just taken out of it. And
Sidelined completely.
yeah,
Yeah.
which I hated at first, but the more I thought about it, it's like, well, I really don't give a shit. And she, you know, and Michael doesn't give a shit about her either. So, which
Well,
is another
I think that whole
funny.
movie was about establishing the fact that it really has nothing to do with her. That
Right.
she just got in his way yet again, and in the way she was like kind of like placed in his way, you know, just fatefully ended up in his, you know, whatever. So they sidelined her, which for me initially I was like, what the fuck? Like Laurie wasn't in the movie hardly at all. I remember after this movie came out, I put on it pops up in my memories on social media, and it's like I said, wouldn't it be hilarious if they put the next movie in a hotel in a hospital? And lo and behold, that sure enough they ended up in a hospital again. But,
Yeah.
you know, they always try to. It's like poetry; they rhyme. You know,
Yes.
keep those threads of like all the old fan stuff in there. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. I mean, you're trying to reboot it. You know, it makes sense. If it were me trying to do this, yes, I would reach out to her and get her involved. Of course, 100%. But yeah, it's like, you know, I mean, you know, obviously I'm a huge Friday 13th fan. Those movies are dumb as hell, of course,
Yeah.
but there's been one time a surviving character came back, and that was for a glorified cameo or whatever. But because he's not, just like Michael Myers should be, he's not like hunting a certain person or a bloodline to destroy or anything. So how much money they pay her here? Because
Oh my god, I always thought that was weird
a
too. She
couple
went right to
$1,000 or something.
yeah, she went to right to $3,000, like
Oh
right
yeah.
on. There's no negotiating, no nothing. Yeah, they don't really get a lot of bang for their buck in this interview, man.
Oh no.
You know, it's weird though, because as obsessed as she still is with Michael 40 years later, she doesn't really seem that interested in having a conversation about it.
Yeah.
You think she would have some insights? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
Maybe she's just. Is it that
probably,
she's just in this like turmoil? Like she's
yeah,
basically tormented, right? So
she's probably given like one interview, back when it happened, and probably just never talked about it again, except to her family and all the survival tactics and stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like when the kid later is like, I mean, it's not that big a deal. He killed like 3 people. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, right. In
It's
today's
like,
world, I
yeah,
know. I mean, that's actually kind of a good line.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. It's like back in the late 70s, it was like mainstream serial killers weren't even like really that big of a thing yet. And then nowadays, well, look what we have to witness, pretty much every month. But this it just speaks to the, I guess, the legend, the lore of Haddonfield or whatever. Like how far outside of Haddonfield does Laurie live, by the way, where she's like blasting guns like in her front yard and shit?
She's definitely on the outskirts.
One of the things that really baffles me about this movie is the dad character.
Mm-hmm.
I never assumed that thing. They don't make these characters, sort of haphazardly. Somebody goes, I want to do this character this way for a reason, and he's such a weird, ineffectual sort of buffoon. And he's like, even like later on in the movie, he's like yo-yoing and shit. You're like, what? Like, what is going on with this guy? And then one of the interesting things that my lady pointed out to me when we were watching it, she goes, he lives in a different reality than the women of this family do. Like, he's like, lived in this perfect little, safe world. And, Laurie and then Karen by proxy or whatever, like traumatized by this whole thing. And so I was like, that's actually kind of insightful. I thought it was maybe a good insight to that character. Like, he's living in La La Land, and they're like, while this whole tormented tragedy is going on right under his nose.
Well, yeah. I mean, the couple things I'll say is I recognize the actor from other stuff and interviews, and he's just said that's his personality.
Yeah.
Already
Whimsical or whatever.
He's just like that.
Yeah.
And 2, I know, I mean, this is ostensibly a small town in the middle of Illinois. So, and like you said, small town guy. And I know plenty of dads and uncles who are fucking weirdo goofballs.
Yeah.
Like him, so, including like my brother and stuff. So it didn't seem out of place to me.
Yeah.
I don't remember him yo-yoing though.
You don't remember that? Oh yeah.
No.
It's like strange little thing to put in there. But what do you think about these guys, Andy's friends?
I like this couple.
Yeah.
Because they seem real. The other 2 boys I don't really like that much, but this couple right here,
Dave and Vicky,
they seem
right?
legit. Yeah. They seem like actual high school kids.
Yeah.
Now these guys, the other 2 guys, they're actually annoying to me.
Oh yeah.
And maybe
my
they
lady
do seem like high school kids, but they're just annoying.
My lady was like, oh no, I don't like these guys at all. It's like, believe me, I understand. Oscar and what's his name?
Oh, I don't remember. Bonnie and or Clyde.
Yeah, right. It'd be, I guess, Bonnie, right? Let's see. Cameron.
Cameron.
He gets a great death at the end, though. At the end of Halloween Kills, right?
Yeah.
I'm already getting him confused.
Well,
He does make it through this one.
Yeah, he does.
Because I remember he helps out Hawkins in the beginning of Kills.
Yeah, he just disappears from this one after they break up. But I mean, that is one cool thing about the continuity and the little characters that are in. There's even some that are in background characters that are in all three films, and just little things like that. The attention to detail, I think works really well as far as like watching this as one trilogy. They did a way better job than the new Star Wars trilogy.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can't even watch any of those movies. What do you think about these like real on the nose member berry scenes where like, but it's always swapped and it's like Laurie instead of Michael? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think that's right. I like the one she's in the classroom just now, and you know that makes sense to me.
Later when Laurie goes over the balcony and lands in the grass.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was definitely like a switcheroo.
Yeah,
you know,
that to me it's like if you've never seen the original Halloween, it's not going to affect you in any kind of way. It's something for us to be fan service about.
Yeah.
It's like I don't find it offensive in any way. And I really liked Allison and this one.
She's all right. Yeah,
granddaughter. I liked her in this one, but in the sequels, she kind of fades out of the second one, and then the third one she goes in just a very strange direction. But yeah, I really liked her in this one. This was her first film, which was pretty good.
Really, I didn't know that. She's been out there.
It says and introducing, so I'm assuming it's her first.
Oh. Yeah, she's been out there and doing cons and stuff lately. I think she just started getting out there and meeting fans.
That's cool.
Maybe she figured she'd just, now that the trilogy's over, she'd capitalize on it or something. But
yeah, should embrace it.
Do you think these guys are a couple? Maybe. Like,
I would think so. I mean, if that was a 1-bed hotel room, so
exactly. He pulled a Dan Chalice on her.
Well, that is one thing that's missing out of this movie is a sex scene, and I think that gal is pretty cute, so I wouldn't mind seeing that.
So what's the next thing on the docket for Halloween franchise? It was who picked up the franchise? Drawing a blank.
I think it was just for television show rights.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was for feature. I haven't really read anything about it, so I don't know. But I think that's what they were selling. Which, I mean, I don't think slasher TV works. It's just something you can't maintain, because TV is just built differently. So, I mean,
slashers are always best in like one, like, quick dash of excitement, and then and then it's over, or whatever. But I have been really enjoying Chucky though. The Chucky series.
Yeah, everybody says that's pretty good, but I haven't
insane,
watched any of it.
It's absurd. It's just nothing is off the table. They'll write anything into an episode. It's great.
I was not a fan of those later Chucky films, so
yeah,
it's just not a world that I really want to get back into. I do love Brad Dourif, and his daughter, I think, is in that TV show.
Fiona Dourif, she's in them a lot.
She's cool, yeah. But it's just not. It's like too goofy at times. So,
oh, absolutely. The TV show is absurd, dude. It's, but you never know what's going to happen next, which is with a lot of fun if you're watching with your lady or something or with a friend.
So, I mean, a Halloween TV show, I mean, if you're looking at this trilogy as a whole, and with the mob stuff that happens and the stuff with Corey in the third one, they're really trying to showcase the townsfolk and stuff a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you could build something off of it like that. But then that wouldn't necessarily be like a Michael Myers focused thing. Or would it? You know, I don't know. So would you like
They should just, I mean, I don't think that they should like ignore Michael or anything. They can
right?
reference Michael, but they don't have to make the show about him. They can make it in that world and have creepy shit happen in that world.
Yeah. Or if they just reboot the entire kind of thing and you know he's just a guy in the Smith's Grove for like 5 episodes of or something. I don't know, but like I said, just to be like a guy walking around killing people, and the show is 8 episodes and it's 30 to 40 minutes an episode. It's like that seems kind of boring.
I wonder if we'll end up getting like Halloween TV show right when we get Crystal Lake TV show.
You
know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one. It's just like I don't know how you would do that.
I mean, I would really dig a cool Pam Voorhees, Camp Crystal Lake kind of prequel, like one shot, 8 episode fucking TV show. I really, if they did it well, would really enjoy that. But it's all a gamble these days. I mean, more often than not, everything we get's not that good. So I try not to get my hopes up too much. But
well,
hey, just the fact we're getting anything is great.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll watch anything, honestly. But it's also like the Bates Motel TV show I never finished because, I mean, they had to incorporate other characters and other things going on because it's not it won't be a TV show if you don't.
Right.
So, and that kind of bored me after a while, so I stopped watching it. So maybe I'm being a hypocrite right now. I don't know, but
once they started going off in the whole like B plot storyline with the weed and all that crap and the brother, the first 2-3 seasons were really good, and after that, it kind of veered off. Like they were reaching for stuff to write about and stuff, but that could have been terrible. And I thought for the most part, the first few seasons were real good. The guy they cast as Norman was fantastic, I thought.
Oh yeah, the casting was great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, casting was spot on. But the problem with this, it's all this IP problem. It's like you can make a knockoff of Halloween that's really good and doesn't necessarily have to involve any of these characters or anything. And obviously, I get it's going to be a smaller draw to begin with, but then there's no expectations from anyone. So you can really blow somebody away with, a story that's in a similar vein, but isn't in Haddonfield, it could be in Montana or something. I don't know. But because like they paid $400 million for the Exorcist IP. And it's like they're making a ton of exorcism movies all the time. You could have just made another exorcism movie and not paid that much for it or whatever. But I know the company that bought it, they probably want to do, like Halloween Horror Nights and stuff that feature exorcists and shit like that. So there's other stuff involved. But
have you seen Believer yet?
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to hit streaming. I'll watch it when it hits. I'm not going to go to the theater and see it, but did you see the Exorcist TV show with what's her name, Gina?
No, never watched that. I heard a lot of people say it was really good though.
So. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad. I would recommend watching it. But Exorcist movies, I've kind of feel like the cat's out of the bag on that whole thing. Like I tried watching Pope's Exorcist. and
Yeah, I'm not
I
watching.
like I got like I don't know, not even halfway through, and I was like, "Fuck this!" Like, I'm done. I'm done.
All
You know?
pretty much all Exorcist movies like that or that involve possession or whatever are mostly bad.
It's just so formulaic, dude.
Mhm.
I was surprised that Russell. I was like, okay, Russell Crowe's in this, so he's got to be bringing something to the table here. Not that his performance was bad, but it was like he might as well have been sleepwalking through the whole fucking thing. It was like, you know,
Did he talk? I'm sure he was talking in an accent, right? He's not American.
everything he says in a really low, rumbly voice like this, you know, to get the panties wet. But you know, I was just like, I don't know. It wasn't, if it's not picking me up, it's not getting me going in the first 20 minutes of the movie. I'm done, you know.
Yeah.
Hook me in.
I did watch The Exorcist 3 again the other night, and I hadn't seen that in quite a long time.
Well, that's when
And
I
I
get the
always
blood
did like
pumping.
that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always did like that movie. But it is weird that, I mean, they would never make that movie today because like George C. Scott is like 70 years old.
Yeah.
Or, you know, around there, and he's the lead of the film.
Yeah.
And they would not do something like that today. And it involved, you know, a bunch of elderly people, you know, and committing murders.
Yeah.
And
Fuck
stuff.
those old people.
It was very well. They just won't do it, and that's, you know, that's something about Halloween
Yeah.
Kills that I really like because it seemed like, you know, with them in the hospital and talking about aging and all this stuff, it's really was kind of focusing on that, I think, to some degree. And, you know, just lots of, especially a slasher movie, you know, doesn't really try and deal with anything like that. So I thought that that was interesting. I do like this little kid.
Yeah, he gets his ass handed to him. That's, you know, we haven't really seen that in a while in the
No,
Halloween movie.
I like how he just doesn't give a shit about hunting. He's like, I just
I
want
want to be a
dance.
dancer, Dad.
Yeah, I love that, man.
I you know, I don't mind the dialogue. It's that raspy voice though is a little off-putting for me.
Yeah, yeah, he does have a
Like, did
raspy
they not
voice.
have any halls on set? Like, get this kid some cough syrup for crying out loud, man. Get some hot tea going on there.
You know, well, once he gets older, though, that voice is going to work out for him.
Back to the Future pinball, man.
Yeah.
Hardworking cops in Haddonfield.
You know,
what's
the
funny
town
was
where nothing ever happens.
When we, yeah, exactly. When we first opened the arcade, there was a cop that would come in and hang out with me, and we'd talk for like half an hour while he was on duty. And somebody complained, and he like left. I never saw him again.
Oh, well, I mean, let's be honest, you know, unless they're pulling people over for bullshit, there's probably not too many crimes and fucking shit that they got to deal with. So they got probably a lot of downtime during the day.
Yeah. I just thought it was, you know, he just was, you know, I don't know. He was looking for a little escape in the middle of his day, I guess, and he would just come in and hang out in uniform, you know, belt on, everything. And my boss told me somebody ratted him out, and so he stopped coming in. But
that's a shame.
I didn't mind him coming in. He was a cool dude. He was super nice, you know. It was funny though, because every time I would mention like, hey, you know, there's been this like these weird people hanging out on the side, and he just did not want to talk about that at all. He was not interested in anything related to work. He's like clammed up.
Yeah.
No, I'm here to talk about Galaga. Okay, that's it.
There are definitely cops who ignore,
not about protecting his hurt.
Ignore certain areas of town and shit like that. So.
All right, so Michael's escaped.
Podcasters are going to the grave of Judith.
Is this the same graveyard or no?
Good question.
They've got the Sinclair in the background.
Good question. Why do they do
really
it?
familiar, man?
Does Smith's Grove or wherever he's at before he just escaped have a gym? Because that one guy had a really broken ass neck, and I don't know if a normal man can just somebody's neck like that. Oh,
yeah.
but he's got the retard strength. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, he's a retard.
He's a retard.
He's a retard. Yeah. David Gordon Green definitely likes. Oh hey, wait, it's Creighton Duke.
I know. Pushing a hot dog through a donut or something. Is that what he says?
I was trying to explain this to my lady when we were watching. Now it's like this is like a trope in like slasher films now. Like the black guy and the cowboy hat thing has like been done. It seems like at least a couple times, but it's always strange. You're like, what's happening? You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little shortcut character in horror movies or something, but he doesn't really have a lot to do. He's just kind of there to listen, you know?
No. Yeah. He definitely doesn't do anything. Well, even Hawkins, I mean, you know, I was hoping he would have more of a role in the third one, and he's completely sidelined in that movie as well.
Got a thing for Laurie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who doesn't?
Are these guys dead yet? Come on.
Yeah.
Well, these podcasts are still alive.
They get killed real good, though.
All right, Matt, what do you make of this? Okay, you know that maroon van in the background? With the lady and the passenger side? Do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm getting at?
No.
Okay, I'll come back to it. But make a note of it. This lady right here.
Okay.
See that look?
Yeah.
What do you think she's trying to she's trying to tell him that he's in there? Like Michael's in there? Or like she's old timey, she knows, right?
Oh, because you see him in the background, I guess, right there punching a guy to death or whatever he's doing. And so maybe she saw that. And I mean, she did see him walk directly in there as well. So maybe she's a nonverbal person, you know, like
she's thinking, hey, I know your life probably depends on this, but
I mean, she could probably do more than just use her eyes to point. She could use her, I don't know, what are these called? Hands and fingers.
You'd be like,
yeah.
But I never really noticed that little moment until recently, and I was like, oh wait, she was trying to signal that the guys, you know, that he's in there or whatever, but it was just really weird because she didn't. I don't know. It was like a really non-committal moment. I don't know if they were trying to build like some suspense or fear or something. Didn't really work. I remember this from the trailers, the bathroom scene.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. Suspenseful. Oddly drops all the teeth on the floor. So
yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really have to go in there and kill her if all he wants is new clothes and his mask.
But he's like, I guess you've been talking about me.
Yeah, is that why he wants to get rid of witnesses?
I think she's like mid-loaf right here. Better pinch it off.
Good thing Joe Grizzly wasn't in that bathroom. Shit. I mean, to mutilate a human being with your bare hands, it's just like I do a lot of butchering and stuff, and so I get the sensation of breaking down a carcass or whatever.
Right.
But like that much like that guy's jaw was ripped off, and so it's like, can you do that?
I just assumed he smashed his head right into the desk or something.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
And then he just
a
like
great
scooped
looking
up the
effect.
teeth or something. Or
Mm.
this is creepy. I do like this with the teeth.
Yeah, it's great.
Because it, and you guys talked about this on your show. I think one of the shows, maybe it was one of the Halloween Return shows or something. But he's got this like, he's got that trick or treat like sort of sense of humor, sort of like trick moment a lot. You know,
Yeah.
like somewhere in between his kills is like,
He's playing around.
Yeah, he's just goofing around, having fun with it. You know.
I mean, this is I'm assuming the first woman that he murders in, 30 years or whatever. So he's probably really digging it. If you go with the whole thing that him killing is just a sexual desire or whatever.
Yes. I don't connect it with sexuality at all. I think he's probably completely asexual. I think he's totally just driven by hatred, driven by a lust for death. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Simple. You know what I mean? It's not, sexuality brings a lot of complicated emotions and thoughts and motivations into it. I don't see that with Michael at all. You know? Boom.
Yeah, I watched Dress to Kill, Brian De Palma's film, for the first time like 10 years ago, and it's a great movie. It's really awesome. It's got a lot of great actors in it. But the killer, to spoil it, is like a...
Oh, don't give it away because I want to watch it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I've
Okay.
never seen it.
Well, it has to do with sexuality.
Yeah.
In a way where it kind of I can't say too much.
I love Brian De Palma. I've never seen that one. I love his movie. It's called Body Double. You ever seen that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is very much similar in that same feel.
Okay.
It's a lot of sex, kind of sleazy.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's
Nice.
like a murder mystery. You got two young people trying to solve these murders. It's really good. It's got the boy from Christine and Back to School. That guy didn't act too much, but he's one of the main characters. Man, how much you gotta pay a contractor to build this kind of shit in your house?
What are you talking about? She figured it all on YouTube videos. She did it herself.
Yeah.
A couple of trips to Home Depot. You got it, not that hard to do. But yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, wow, this fucking chick, it really is paranoid, man. Like,
she's ready.
I mean, once you know the ending of the movie, it makes sense, but then you're, like, why don't you just have stairs? So I tried listening to this comment. I think I've listened to it before, but I tried listening to it again recently. The commentary with Jamie Lee and Judy Greer.
Oh, I haven't done that.
It's tough.
Really?
Because they're just really obnoxious, dude.
Are they even talking about the movie or what?
I mean, they are, but it's like it's all, everything's filtered through their own sort of narcissistic viewpoints and stuff, and it's like, I didn't care for it, man. It was like, I guess usually the best way to approach these things is just have fun with it, but it just seemed real like, listen to it. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
Jamie Lee,
have you ever heard?
Jamie Lee Curtis can be kind of off-putting. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think we've all heard enough stories about her. She's can be a tough broad. But have you ever heard Arnold Schwarzenegger commentary? They're fucking awesome. He's just like, oh, and this is where this is where I punched this guy to death, and this is great right here.
Yeah, where he's just like reveling in his own, like, yeah.
It's just describing the movie. Oh, and this is where the Terminator gets shot in the face.
Yeah, I need to go
I
back and
remember
listen to
when
some of
James
those.
Cameron said action, and the explosion went off. It was so cool.
Yeah, it's just lowbrow. I mean, it's fun. You know what I mean? You know what I did pick up? I'm actually really interested in listening to some commentary tracks on this bad boy. Finally got this.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like on Amazon marked down to like $50.
Oh, okay. And that's it's starting with H2O, or where's that start?
Yes. Resurrection, H2O, and of course Curse, and the 4K scans and commentary tracks and all that good stuff. So I figured, hey, for $50, that's a good deal. Because it was like over 100 when it first dropped, and then it dropped down to 80 for a while, and then this Halloween, October, it dropped down to 50. I was like, I could pull the trigger on $50 for that. So
yeah, $100 seemed a little ridiculous.
And I like the cover is like, what did Alex call it? Loomis's jerk off room.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's not human. Oh,
I came 6 times. This is the best shot of the whole movie for me.
Yeah, it's really cool.
This one long shot here, where this is like the real return of Michael right here.
It is. The first night I watched it in the theater, I was by myself, and I got up to go pee, and I missed the entire sequence.
No, really?
So, yeah, talking with people like Jason Lloyd, I think he told me, I was like, that whole walking and killing stuff wasn't in there. Like, it looked like it would be in the trailer. And he's like, it was there. I said, shit, I did get up to go pee once.
Oh,
Fuck.
man. Yeah, I got chills. Like, I was like, oh, man, this is what I've been waiting for, So all this stuff feels like, like very, very Halloween to me. Like,
yeah,
meaning the movie John Carpenter Halloween Vision. I wish that a lot of the movie felt more like this kind of stuff and a little less some of the other choices, but nice little nod to Miss Elrod here. And
yeah, I just realized Michael needs like a tool belt, like he could have taken that hammer with him, just had a little hook hanging on.
Yeah, hammer, knife, screwdriver, light bulb.
Yeah, fluorescent light bulb. That drone from the second one.
Oh,
I rewatched the latest Evil Dead movie, and there's a drone kill, or not a kill, but a drone injury at the beginning of that. I don't know if you've seen it, but it made me laugh.
Evil Dead Rise?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a big fan, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, you didn't like it? Okay.
I don't know. I'd like to hear your opinion on it at some point, but I just got really I guess I like my Evil Dead movies a certain way,
Yeah.
Even though I do kind of like the reboot, but
yeah, I like that one. I don't dislike any of them. Man, I only carved one jack-o'-lantern so far this year. Got my work cut out for me.
Yeah, I did too, and I was fucking tired after. I was like, you put out guts and shit. I'm like, fuck this.
Because I like to get the insides really clean. Like some people just
you got to, because then they start to smell like ass.
Yeah,
you don't clean them out really good, right?
Yeah, and I want the whatever's on there to look really good with the light inside, and some people don't. They don't cut the insides out well enough, and so it's like, oh, these people.
No, I agree, man. I'm like, my fucking hands are getting sore and shit. But I gotta do it. It's a annual tradition.
Yeah.
Was there any specific design you went with this year? Or?
No, I just did triangle eyes, triangle
The
nose,
classic.
and sharp teeth. Because I was, we had talked about earlier, but I was going to a dinner party and I was taking it over there, and I had like 20 minutes. I was like, oh, I can do this real quick.
By the way, did you like that kill with the head slam and the
Oh yeah, I loved
knife
it.
through the neck?
Yeah, you know what? And it's like, if this were Rob Zombie's Halloween, we'd already be so over the gore and stuff right now. Even at this point in the movie, an hour in, because everything is over the top. Well, this one had how many kills where you just didn't even see anything? You just saw like the body laying there. And so it's better to build that kind of stuff up than just, unless you're making an actual splatter film like Terrifier or something, then that's different, but it just makes them, makes it pop more. It's like what that fucking dumbass did with Jason and Jason Goes to Hell. His reasoning behind him not being in the movie was like, people would, be so excited when he triumphantly returns at the end. Not really, dude.
Yeah, no, not so much. Poor Adam, such a nice guy.
Yeah, he seems like it. Yeah,
always wishes me a happy birthday every year, but
oh yeah,
but it didn't make the best Friday the 13th movie.
No, that's okay though.
Oh yeah, it's our favorite character over here. The one thing about this little kid character is that it's a one trick pony. So like it's funny the first time you see it in the theater, but then it wears off really fast. Like and on consecutive viewings after that, you're like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's grating. But I mean, I wouldn't say hung out, but I've been around kids, around his age and stuff like that, and they do be talking like this a lot of times.
Smart ass.
Yeah. Like when they don't feel like you're an authoritarian figure or whatever, they fucking say all kinds
They try
of
to take power over you or some shit.
Yeah, it's not like I was babysitting anybody or anything, but
what was that they were watching? Was that that was
Repo
Heavy
Man,
Metal, wasn't it? Yeah, the guy got torched by the Lochnar.
Go to sleep and good night.
I got some weed to smoke. Come on.
Yeah, Alakazam or whatever they were saying.
I got some dry humping to do.
Kind of convenient though that Michael ends up in the house of Laurie's granddaughter's best friend for whatever reason.
A little too convenient, but I guess we're supposed to believe Haddonfield's a small town and everybody knows each other, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, this dance doesn't look very big, so
yeah,
kind of reminds me of my hometown.
There's always these sort of conveniences in films that you kind of have to overlook sometimes. But
oh yeah, I never even thought about it till just at this moment. And it's not like I give a shit. It doesn't bother me at all. He was already in someone else's house earlier too. So
you've really lost it, man. You've really lost it.
You've lost it. You've just lost it. I tell you what, though, I am jealous of. I've talked about this before, but a Halloween dance. Fuck, man, I never had shit like that.
I don't remember having any fun Halloween dances. We always did
just the formal
to somebody's house. We didn't have dances at high school.
Oh yeah, right. But not a school, not something put on at the school. Those were always formal BS things that were
right.
If you like getting dressed up
between prom, junior prom, homecoming, all that bullshit. Like there wasn't room for a Halloween dance, but
you're right. Not in the budget. I mean, if you took a teenager's, especially a woman's phone
Mhm.
and just destroyed it like that, you might as well just slit her throat.
That's
Like,
almost
she
worse
would
than cheating on her.
lose her fucking mind.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I get a dirty look from my lady when I just pick her phone up and move it across the room.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, where are you going with my
Don't
phone?
you open that.
I'm just moving it out of the way. Jesus, relax.
So now I guess
yeah, go
this is
ahead.
the only actual babysitter murder that we get.
I like that they squeezed it in. I can
Yeah.
appreciate it. You know,
Yeah.
it's an homage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people give this franchise shit. You know, like when they announced that they were releasing the 4K trilogy. I was talking to some of my other friends about getting it or whatever, and they were shitting on it. I'm like, you know what? Consider how bad this shit could have been, man. I mean, I think all in all, we got a good shape. Michael's really good in this. It's a flavor pack of movies. I mean, each movie's pretty different from the other.
Yeah, exactly. Very, interesting, unique.
I mean, the only one really offensive thing that they pretty much did was just the whole Corey line and part and ends where you're just like, what? It's way out in left field in terms of like a bold move and storyline, but at least you can get that something interesting you go back to and rewatch. So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I think they came up with something that was fun, and they put them out pretty quick.
It's when you just compare, I mean, what they got 13 or 14 movies, it's like you could compare this trilogy next to any of the other trilogies, and this one is, in my opinion, far the best. Obviously, the original Halloween film is going to blow everything out of the water, but as far as, like you were saying, they get a lot of shit done right. There's lots of variety.
Yeah.
And different takes. It's like, do they all work? Fuck no.
Yeah.
The mob shit, although great on paper, I fucking can't stand. But
the Evil Does Tonight, fucking
right.
It gets a little old.
That's all. I always, fast forward to those scenes. I haven't watched them recently, but the rest of the movie I fucking love. So
I wonder if somebody is gonna do like a fan cut of all three into like one 2-hour movie or something.
Well, that'd be interesting, because then you could bring in the Corey situation earlier in the film, so it feels a bit more set up.
There would be a lot to juggle, but I wonder if somebody could pull it off. Like somebody did when the Phantom edit, remember that, for the prequels, and like 1 3-hour movie, and it was like there was a couple of them. There was one that was like some Japanese edit I saw. Holy shit, it was like the perfect fucking movie. It was like they got all the good shit in there. It was really well edited. I would love to see something like that with this trilogy, but I'm still holding out.
You could definitely, if you're mashing all the movies together, there's so much stuff that you could cut and it wouldn't matter, and would be fine. So
I'm sure there's like cutscene stuff too, right?
I think so. I know the second one has like a different ending or something. I haven't bought Halloween Ends, so I haven't watched any of those special features yet. But
when's the Halloween Ends NECA figure gonna drop? they gotta have like a little meat grinder that goes with it,
God.
They should make like a Michael meat grinder Play-Doh set where you can mold the Michael and then you churn the little thing and it goes into it.
Yeah, I think as far as doing more of these movies, I mean, they're going to, because like I said, IP is a guaranteed X amount of $1 million, even if it sucks. So what they're gonna do is, the people who own the aren't creative, so they're not going to have any fucking ideas. So somebody's going to have to get on their radar who's fresh and new and actually has something to kind of say with the property, that gets them revved up to want to actually feel like they could do something again. Now, whether that's just another reboot, I mean, could be, who knows? I don't know if you've seen. I'm not saying they should do this at all, but I don't know if you've seen the Talk to Me film. But those two brothers who made that are seemingly pretty interesting,
I haven't
creative
seen Talk to
types.
Me, but I've heard chatter about it. You'd
It
recommend?
is so good.
It really,
Yes.
it's wild, huh? Something different.
It's very different. Yeah. And then I found out that they have like a YouTube channel that they've been doing stuff on for years. This is their first feature. And the shit on there is like goofy and like actiony and special effects heavy. It's very different from that film. But the film is really good. It's fresh, seemingly, compared to like even Smile, which I kind of enjoyed, but lots of people were saying
we kind of liked it too. It's
new thing. Yeah,
Kevin Bacon's daughter.
Oh, I didn't know that. But Talk to Me even more so. It's like, take that's. It's not the same thing, but a kind of similar mood. It's not a slasher. It's like a ghost kind of thing or whatever. And I think they did a great job.
Yeah, I saw it pop up I'm on Nudie's Plex account, and he gets all the good stuff on there somehow. So he knows so many people, so I'll have to check it out on that.
Yeah, that's worth it.
That one I want to see. Suitable Flesh, I hear, is good.
Oh,
did you check it out?
No. Who's that guy?
I don't know anything about it. I saw the cover and I heard somebody say it was good, or a couple of people mentioned it.
Shit. What is his name? Joe Lynch? Is that his name?
From Adam Green, Joe Lynch?
Yeah, that's who made it. Joe Lynch. Yeah, he made it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think it's based on a story, an existing story, I think. So
the movie Crypt guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, I like his movies for the most part. So
Chillerama. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I did not like that. I didn't mean Adam Green. I meant Joe Lynch. I don't think Joe Lynch did anything for Chillerama. Hawkins
is having a flashback here.
Yeah. Now, do you think he's ever fired his gun since 1978? I bet he's been a lot more careful.
Highly doubt it.
Yeah. I'm surprised he even pulled it out.
His fucking heart's probably pumping right now. And yeah, if you're listening to this, you don't know what we're talking about. You have to see the next movie to get it. But let's just say Hawkins fucked up pretty bad.
You done fucked up, Ron?
Once again, we've got Michael playing his pranks, just like he did with Bob. Well, no, he did to himself before he killed Bob.
Yeah, but still, yeah, he's like,
oh shit, I blinked and I missed a Nick Castle fucking cameo.
Oh, when he was looking in the mirror, is that when it was?
Yeah.
Well, he really brought a lot of energy to that moment, so you probably want to go back and rewatch it.
I still, I'm like one of those nerds. I do the cons and stuff like that. I still haven't met Nick Castle. Like he's been at a lot of ones I've been at in the last 10 years, and I just always never got to his table for whatever reason. But he seems like a really, really cool dude and everything.
Yeah. I think he's made a lot of movies himself.
Yeah. What was the one he did? Was it The Gate?
Oh, really?
I think yeah. Let me double check that for sign off on it. But I think he did that.
The Gate, man, I haven't thought about that in a long time.
That's a fun movie. I like it.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see.
Michael.
Holy shit. He directed Major Pain. Remember that movie?
God, yes.
I never knew that.
God.
The Last Starfighter.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised that hasn't been remade. I wonder who owns that, because that seems
I used to
like
love that movie when I was a kid.
Yeah,
man.
oh yeah. Especially now how video game culture has grown. Like it seems like a no fucking brainer.
Jesus, Laurie, calm down for fuck's sake.
Yeah. You're just standing here.
I take it back. It wasn't Newcastle. I was thinking of like The Last Starfighter or something.
Oh.
Some, one of those 80s movies you kind of forgot about, but you remember is good.
Mm-hmm.
You're the new Loomis.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Laurie, I would just go home and get in my hole and listen to. She probably has, a police radio thing, and just fucking ride it out.
Yeah, but,
like a
see,
bad storm.
She's all about trying to take him out. It's like she wants to get her revenge on Michael. She wants to eradicate him, So she's actively she's looking for the confront. She's the new Loomis, really. She's the one that's actively seeking him out, looking for a confrontation, because she knows how evil he is.
So, given what we know with the second movie, right now Michael should be just trying to go to his house,
right?
Right?
But he needs to get a little detour.
They say he wants to do, yeah.
What is it? They say he creeps, he sneaks, he kills, or something in the second movie.
I don't know. He creeps, he sneaks, he kills.
Is it he creeps, he stalks, he kills, or some shit? In the original, Loomis was there to really give the character of Michael Myers all that weight and gravity, and to build it up in your mind, so that because he's not really around that much, so when he shows up, it's like you already have this thing in your head. And like, even though we have this sort of fake Loomis character, it's really Laurie who does that in this movie, so that she's acting as the Loomis character, building him up for the audience, making him into this like monster, so that when he does show up, at least that's how I see it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I want to deal with the pleasure.
This movie was people with accents, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, what is Zartan's end goal when we find out that he's, a part of this kind of thing? It's like just to watch him kill, just to see what he'll do. I don't know.
It seems like he's lost himself in the idea of the boogeyman, like the whole the legend of Michael Myers, and he's really bought into like he's obsessed with it. It's like he's gonna. And I guess in that way he is like Loomis too. He's just completely overwhelmed with this like one person's impact on the world and people around him and stuff. But he goes one step further where he's like, I have to know, like, I need to step into his mind. And the only way that I can do that, because he won't talk to me, is to actually kill someone and know what it feels like. I guess he's hoping that will take him like a little bit further into Michael's mindset. Like perhaps he's not even like, he's not motivated by evil. He's not motivated to kill somebody for any other reason than to get closer to Michael. So that's how like overcome by him he is.
Was he
Fucking
thinking
Oscar.
that he was going to get away from it all though, like, and just go back November 1st back to work?
Well, like I said,
last night was crazy, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah, I know, right? Like the next day going to work and Michael's locked up or dead, like he's just gonna forget like everything that ever happened.
Yeah. No, because
fucking
once
Oscar,
he gets
the
the taste
ultimate
of blood,
he's such a
craves
fucking
it.
insult.
He needs it. Yeah, that's a pretty bold move. I've never done no shit like he did. Like
5 minutes after she breaks up with your best friend.
I mean,
or whatever.
I've never even made a move on any of my friends' ex-girlfriends or anything like that. That was always strange to me. It's like, oh, now she's going out with your best friend. I just always thought that was weird.
See, I've always said you get a circle of friends and you get a couple, and then one steps out. Somebody always steps in to fill that void, man. And I always thought it was weird too. I don't know if it's just the ease of availability, like because you know each other, or maybe you always thought about getting together with that person, and now there's an opportunity to do it. It's gross, though. It's like it never ends well.
Yeah,
like this, he doesn't even wait like a day. He's in there, man. Like he's on Allison's ass like right away.
Well, I mean, not to be judgmental, but he's clearly doesn't have Cameron's looks and probably confidence and stuff.
I'm assuming that he probably did that because he figured she was vulnerable. Like
great.
she's in a moment of weakness, and then I can slide right in there. Yeah.
Ugh. See, that's not a fan of that whole thing.
And she shut him down pretty hard, man. That was brutal.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like she wasn't going to talk to him ever again or anything. It's just like, dude, not now is not the time.
Right.
Like,
by the way, I really like the whole motion sensor light thing.
Oh, it's really fun.
I thought that was a really cool idea.
Yeah,
because it adds to that like kind of like surprise element. Gosh, fucked them up.
Now, at this moment, is she thinking like, oh, well, she's definitely not now, but I thought maybe she's like, did he just kill himself because I rejected him?
I never thought of that angle, but I suppose it's possible.
I mean, because you wouldn't instantly think, holy shit, he's been brutally murdered. It seems, I just heard him. That seems ridiculous. But
I'm assuming she's pieced together the fact that he was screaming for help 5 seconds before.
Yeah. All the parents are at their Halloween fuck party that they do every year in Haddonfield.
Ineffectual dad standing off to the side.
Isn't it his head that gets made into a jack-o'-lantern later?
You're thinking of the cop.
Oh,
who's actually Chris Nelson. He's the special effects dude that did all the masks and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Also, he's on
interviews with him.
Yeah, does that show, The Thing with Two Heads, with Sean Clark, and it's really good.
Oh, okay,
it's a lot of fun. Yeah, he's talked a lot about his role in working on these movies, and it's funny because like as the years went on and towards the end of Ends and everything, he's like, I'm just so fucking sick of Michael Myers. Like, it's just
I'm
consumed his life,
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but you get it. Like, it's fucking.
You work
if
on
you had to,
so long.
if you had to cook turkey every fucking day of your life, man, like, or whatever, I don't know. If you had to make tacos every goddamn day, you'd fucking get sick of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, did I miss a yo-yo? Where is it?
Oh,
I'm sure I didn't imagine that.
he didn't even know about the dungeon.
No.
Didn't he just say, like, what's this?
I have a feeling she probably just wanted to black that part of her life out,
Mm-hmm.
You start a life with
so.
somebody, you get a clean slate. You don't want to, like, have them bringing that shit up every fucking Halloween or whatever, I kind of get it.
So this makes sense now. Why she married this quote unquote goofball. It's because her whole life has been not fun. She had no childhood, essentially. So she meets this guy. He's probably a good hang.
He's pretty chill,
Yeah.
And he is not part of this world at all, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
He's fucking playing with yo-yos and getting peanut butter on his
totally different. He's the yo-yo master, apparently. He's got like a bunch of trophies. Pretty cool. No big deal.
Yo-yo, and it's always a panty dropper.
Yep. Do it right.
Oh yeah, he hits him with the car, right? Oh wait, no. Oh yeah.
Now he could have moved or something. It's like, nope. I'm on the sidewalk, guys. The car is gonna move, right? It's like
Michael's too much of a badass to dive out of the way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, we know he can move with some kind of swiftness.
That would have at least like smashed his kneecaps to oblivion or whatever. Yeah, so I was not sold on this twist at all. I was like,
I'm glad it's like over really quickly.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't go on much longer. One thing I can't stand, and I hated this in the first Rob Zombie film. I mean, there's not a lot I like in that movie, but is when he puts the mask on and stands up. It looks so awkward. Like it's clearly made for this actor or stuntman or whoever he is to be wearing it. So, and when the young Michael puts the mask on in the Rob Zombie's Halloween, I fucking laughed.
Yeah, it's goofy as hell, dude.
Yeah, you're supposed to be like scared because he's chasing his sister, but I'm like, that looks fucking weird.
It looks stupid. Like I would have rather have the clown face mask.
The clown mask, yeah. Like this mask looks so weird.
Yeah, it looks like one of us putting on one of our collective trick-or-treat masks.
Doesn't fit right.
Like, it looks, silly. I like how Hawkins, like 3-4 hours from now, is like hitting on Laurie in a bed after getting knifed in the neck.
Yeah. He's like, the blood is still pumping, lady. Well, and Zartan didn't even get to kill anybody because he survived. So
that's right.
He didn't even get that sensation.
Say something. What do you think's the one thing Michael would say if he had said something in this movie? Like, what would you have it be?
Well, I mean, he does say die to Dr. Loomis and RZ2 or whatever, Rob Zombies 2. No.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like, "Can I get fries with that?" I mean, he's got to eat something besides dog, right? So there is no dead dog in this movie, is there?
What's that?
There is no dead dog in this film either, is there?
Oh, they left that one thing out. God damn it. I wonder how Chris Nelson finagled a little role as the cop in this. It's great that he get to sculpt his own head as the jack-o'-lantern. I do love that. That was a good idea. The head
that might have been the reason why, because from my understanding, and I don't know if I could do it, but getting a latex cast of your entire head seems nerve-wracking, you know?
Yeah. Get the straws hanging out your nose and shit.
Yeah, so that could have been it.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe they were just like, well, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. And has he not acted in stuff before? I feel like he's recognizable. I just assumed he was an actor. I didn't realize he did the makeup stuff until you just reminded me.
I can't believe Sartain fell for the shit.
It's been, the shit's been building and building.
Yeah.
So Michael's, they're in the cop van, and Michael's just there. Oh, he's waking up.
He was just taking a little nap, a little dad nap.
It's funny he goes immediately to kill him and not the young girl that's next to him, because
no, we had to punish him for putting on his fucking mask. You know,
you think that was it? I don't think he was conscious.
I have no idea.
Oh,
totally random. You know, probably just figured he had her cornered. I don't know. Who knows? Gets the old fucking curb stomp here, though.
Yeah.
Say something. Cool shot.
I wonder how come. I mean, if he was involved in the breakout, God, that was fucking gnarly. Then, I mean, the doctor had to be the guy who like took because surely they were shackled up or something like that, to take his chains off. And you know, I'd be surprised that Michael wouldn't just like kill him right there.
That's a good point. But, you know, then again, it wasn't Halloween night until tonight. Yeah. Is that what you mean? Like, you know, previously being around him, like, you know, transporting around, being around him.
You know, he's just a guy that he interacts with, assumably on a daily basis almost, and probably has some kind of feelings towards this guy who's trying to get him to come out of his shell, so to speak. Mm-hmm. He probably wouldn't like that too much. So I just envision, like, as soon as he undoes the chains or whatever and the bus has crashed, that he would just like choke him out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But we don't see it, and it was never filmed or written, so it's not like we have anything to go on.
I kind of feel like Michael's never activated until Halloween night.
Right, yeah.
Gotta have the mask, gotta have the situation, you know.
When you see the thorn constellation in the sky.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until the second movie that she's wearing a Christmas sweater.
Yeah, I was thinking about, like, why would they choose that costume for her? And I'm thinking, what, maybe she wants to live in that like Christmas world and not the fucking, you know what I mean?
I don't think she participates in Halloween at all.
Yo-yo.
There it is. Yeah.
Walking the dog. Anyway, yeah, no. The Christmas sweater is that like an ironic Halloween costume, or is it like
No, I think she wants to skip Halloween every year.
I think you might be right.
And who knows? This could be her daughter's first time, like, dressing up or something. Maybe they've never celebrated Halloween.
Yeah. All I know is I did not miss her after the second movie. Like, see ya.
Yeah, I mean, I like her, but yeah, I didn't need that much of her. Hey, excuse me. You want me fluff pillow?
Fucked him up.
Yeah, that is pretty gnarly.
That is one direction that they took this movie in a way gorier.
Yeah, that's
direction
I think
than
you
the
have
original.
to. Yeah.
Unless
you're making, I mean, just for modern audiences, I think we're kind of used to a certain amount. I feel like most kids today, if you show them the original Halloween, they're gonna say it's fucking.
They
boring.
don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. It's just boring.
Yeah. Well, nothing's happening. It's like, well, it's a suspense movie, so. Michael's here and he wants his $2. That's the one thing he'll say. I want my $2. Okay. I would also be on the phone with the police, right? It's like, hey, he killed the cops outside.
Doesn't she even have like one of those cop radios? Like
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like,
yeah.
I get you want to kill him, but
hand through the window. I thought he was gonna Freddy Krueger her ass from
hands through the window, yeah. Don't worry about me. I'm just dying. I mean, and so, okay. He has been shot and he did get hit by a car. Okay, so that's a couple things. So he is wounded. But at the beginning of the movie, he fucking ripped that guy's jaw off. Like, I feel like he could take Laurie Strode out, no problem.
Oh, right,
yeah. The door,
scalp her through the window or some shit.
Yeah. That was like she just blew off half of his left hand or whatever.
Yeah. He's down to what? 2 fingers and a thumb.
Yeah. But that was something that people pulled out of the trailer for Halloween Ends about
he had
potentially not being Michael in the film because he had all of his fingers, and then people were like, well, maybe it's a reverse shot,
Maybe they were speculating that
yeah.
What do you think of the whole? By the way, I want to say the whole peanut butter on my penis thing was definitely the traps was like a foreshadowing of this ending. I think. I meant to bring that up. Really, I thought about that last. I was like, these are mouse traps. So I was like, maybe that's like a little like Easter egg about the ending or something. But what do you think about the whole trap him in the basement, burn him up scenario she's got going on here?
I think it's great. I was just getting ready to say, I think that I'm surprised it's this hard for them to get it to work. Like it takes a while or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think it's really, I think it's a very effective ending. And that's probably what you should do is, I mean,
torch him.
Yeah,
trap them and torch
burn them to death. Just burn the shit out of them. Now, see, I probably wouldn't come out of the basement. It's like, just stay down there.
But he's got to get down there somehow, right?
Well, I
Because it's all
think,
about those like the gas,
yeah,
torches.
yeah, I guess you're
whatever.
right. If that is the ultimate plan,
She's got to lure him
yeah.
down. She's bait, right? She's baiting him down.
Mhm.
He went upstairs. They went downstairs. So she's got to go up there and get his ass.
And people complain a lot about, and Halloween Ends about, the showdown between Laurie and Michael was uneventful and stuff, and my whole thing was, it's like, yeah, it wasn't like seemingly as grand as probably even maybe I wanted it to be,
Mhm.
but I mean, if you look at this movie and the other and the original and stuff, I'm like, we've had so much of this.
Yeah.
It's like,
By the way, here's another switcheroo where she's stalking Michael on the inside of the closet with the doors and the hangers.
oh,
and
right. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Do you think she's got all the stuff that she actually likes, like her clothes and pictures and shit and valuables in like a storage locker somewhere? Because she knows she's going to burn this fucking house down eventually.
I guess, because that room is completely empty except a clock.
Yeah.
I guess once she started living on her own, she's like, I don't need much. I don't know when it's coming up, but the room with the mannequins I thought was also effective.
Yeah, because visually it's just it's creepy, and it's also misleading, and you're like,
Yeah, mannequins are creepy.
I think it plays off the shape thing too.
Well, yeah.
Where it's like she's trying to inoculize herself against the shape, just or something. That's what I always thought. But
yeah.
Is he in the attic? Where is he?
He's just in the kitchen eating beans.
Yeah.
I got hungry.
He's eating like a microwave burrito.
Yeah.
2 fingers.
Can we take 5 here?
Now that dollhouse, that is the Myers house, right?
I don't know. I always wondered that when I watched this. I wondered if it was something, because I think it's seen briefly in a flashback with her daughter, I think. Can't remember, even though we're watching it right now. But
it looks,
so, yeah.
I mean, it has that basic house format thing, but then again, a lot of like those dollhouses do. But I was like, I wonder if they deliberately did that, because there's no Myers house in this movie at all, which always kind of bummed me out, because the house itself is like a character. I feel like, there's something about that facade, and it goes along with Michael and everything so well. It's like that's where the genesis of this whole thing started and everything. But
now I feel like I would just shoot the closet, because when did he bring him up there?
a classic Michael move.
Yeah, what the heck?
Stashing bodies. Fucking
He's like, shit, I need to run outside first. Like, she locked the front door, right? And then he burst through. Yeah, I don't know.
He killed that guy, the dad, then brought him inside, hit him, then went outside, then broke through the front door.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I never. That's one of the parts in the first movie I don't really care for, is when the body.
It would have been funny if they had the yo-yo hanging down.
Yeah, he should have killed him with that yo-yo.
Yeah,
he's like, this move. Who's the master now?
Yeah.
Oh, that mannequin's got a dick. I never saw that before. I mean, it was still like muted, but you can see a dick in there.
Yeah. It's got a bulge.
Yeah.
I kind of think she's getting off on this. Just like, it's finally my moment, you know.
Hey, same thing happened to Sartan. Same thing happened to Loomis, apparently. This guy is attractive in a fucking weird kind of way.
See, another switcheroo. They should have had like the little outline in the grass.
Yeah.
Again, part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, they do kind of have it there a little bit. I've been trick-or-treated to death.
Oh my god.
Did Michael actually ever try to kill Loomis? I'm trying to remember. In any of the movies?
No.
Loomis always seems to be immune to Michael's.
I think the most interaction that they had physically is in part 5 when they meet in the stairwell and he ends up hitting them with some chains or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But Michael never does anything to Loomis, I don't think.
Yeah. There's also like the P cut with the runes. Don't they like come? He comes face to face with Michael. Oh, but it wasn't actually Michael, was it? It was the doctor buddy of his that was in the mask or something.
Oh, yeah. They don't have a confrontation in that film, I don't think either.
Yeah.
He's not human. I wonder if he even got any candy that first night he went trick-or-treating, or if he just wandered around.
Yeah, because you don't ever see him with a bag or a plastic pumpkin, a pail full of candy, nothing.
Right? Oh, and his mask was indoors when the movie starts. He picks it up.
That's
off
probably
the floor.
why he killed his sister, is because they're fucking. His sister and her boyfriend's fucking got in the way of him getting Halloween candy.
Oh, could be.
She was supposed to take him trick or treating.
And I also like thinking that, you know, unlike the Rob Zombie films where he talks as a child, I mean, what if he's like, you know, I mean, nowadays you would know, you know, if a child is nonverbal to such a degree, they're probably on some kind of autistic spectrum or something, which makes more sense than for under knowing what we know today, you know, with that kind of stuff. So I never thought about it, but it's like maybe he never talked ever, you know.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Because I always just assumed like Michael was just like a normal kid, and then boom, that one moment he snapped or something. Because, you know, it didn't seem like anybody treated him otherwise, you know. It wasn't like, you know, Rob Zombie's. It was just like this. He was just fucking badgered by terrible parents, and, you know, fucking serial killer in the making. I mean, I really didn't like any of that backstory stuff. I mean, to me, I thought it was awful, but
I did not like that at all. Gotcha.
Oh,
she says that in the. Doesn't she say "gotcha" in the next movie too?
Does she? Like when
Am I confused? She's at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
When the townspeople were, I can't remember.
It might be our catchphrase, like Arnold, you know.
Hey,
gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Did she shoot him in the neck? I never could tell. Like when she shoots him at the top of the stairs, it looked like he got him through the neck or something. I like how Laurie's got the Jeffrey Dahmer fucking blue body barrel in the corner.
Oh,
Like just in case she needs to like hide a body or something.
Yeah. Melt a body.
Mm-hmm. Who built this shit for Laurie anyway?
That's what I was saying. Like, what contractor?
It's like
said like
hydraulically fueled fucking.
You want like a grid-like thing to
in.
come down on every door frame? Like, okay.
I don't know about you, dude, but if I had somebody build that shit, or if I built that shit and that little trap door, like I would be paranoid as fuck walking through that. Like, I would avoid walking through that stairwell as much as possible. Like if that shit misfires and you're like a fucking yeah, shish kebab.
And I'd take the job because it'd probably pay a lot of money, but I'd probably then also go to the police and just be like, we might want to put Laurie Strode on a short list.
Yeah.
Like her house is fucking crazy.
Like send an anonymous letter. Like
I'm not saying she's gonna kill somebody, but
I think she's planning on doing some evil shit. Yeah, tweet
Evil dies tonight.
at FBI. Laurie Strode, give the address.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think that's definitely Meyers' house.
Yeah,
but I don't remember the windows at the top though.
No,
I feel like it wants to be a reference to something in the previous movie or something like that.
That's what I always thought because it was, it's just you see it so much. It just kind of stands out. So. Okay, you're driving along a dirt road. Somebody covered in blood comes up holding a knife, screaming. I might keep driving.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a female or not.
They kind of lifted this from Texas Chainsaw a little bit, but
oh yeah.
They didn't have room in the cab for at least 2 people. They all got to get in the back.
It's like, ladies, you're getting in the back. My dog, Lance, he stays up front.
Yeah, exactly. I got some room in the back, but yeah, man, I dig this movie. It's fun. It's not like I would say probably in the first 3 Halloween movies I'd grab off the shelf, but it's a fun watch. It's a good time.
I like to watch classic, probably except for the first zombie one. That's not one I really want to watch ever again, but I pretty much like them all. But yeah, you can't go wrong with this one. It's very well done.
I was rewatching Halloween 6 the other night, and I was like, holy shit, this movie's so fucking bad. But it's just, I don't know why I enjoy watching it. Maybe it's the Paul Rudd effect. I don't know.
It's hypnotic. Something about that movie, and the Curse of Michael J. and everything. But when I watched it, because it had been like 6 or 7 years since a Halloween movie, so I was, we're like the same age, had grown up quite a bit, and, I was in high school at that point. So, and to see the kind of different. Like I was talking about earlier, like the quick editing and the flashing and stuff.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was stupid by the end, but, when I'm a sophomore in high school or whatever, and I thought it was one of the better ones I'd seen in a while. So, and I still like it and also the whole producer's cut thing has this air of like strangeness.
Right.
And so it just makes it fascinating. It's like such a unique thing. It's like the Exorcist prequels that they have 2 of them. It's that kind of thing. It's like, how does this happen?
Yeah.
And it's fun as a film geek to be able to just see the differences of just even editing choices. Or like in the Exorcist thing, it's like, well, it was like 90% of the movie was refilmed with different actors, but it's the same story, but a completely different movie. I just find that fascinating. So
Yeah, I always have a soft spot for. It seems like Curse was on TV a lot, like throughout my high school years or something, and so there it is. But I all in all, I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna have to do a little work on Halloween Ends, I feel like, but all in all, this like trilogy is pretty good. It's fun.
You could
And
do a lot worse, like
yeah,
the Friday the 13th. I mean, if we ever get more of those, and I think we will, but we'd be lucky to get a trilogy this well done in Friday the 13th. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. So
yeah, except they just have to call it Jason or something. I guess they can't have the Friday the 13th Jason names together, but
yeah,
I see what you're saying though. I mean, if we could get something half this good in the Friday the 13th, genre or whatever, that'd be amazing.
I also watched the opening to the 2009 Friday, probably this week, just the opening. And I always liked that movie. But I think I like it less and less as years go on because it feels very early 2000s.
It got that. It has that Platinum Dune stink.
Yeah,
on it,
and I think that was kind of turning me off about it. So I don't know. I'm sure I'll watch that again someday. But yeah,
what do you think? Is this at least this movie destined to be a classic? Think it's going to stand the test of time, or?
I think so. Only for the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis does a great job in it. I feel like she's somebody that the fans, and she knows it too, that the fans will support her.
Seems like she finally came around. Like
Yeah.
she said something recently that, when I'm dead and gone or something, like,
Yeah,
I'll be known as Laurie Strode, and that's just that's because of you guys or something. And she never used to talk that way about Halloween before,
She's well, you got to think about where she came from. She's has famous parents, and so, and her mother was, at least in one very infamous horror film, and then she starts out and does 4 horror films, and instantly is called a scream queen.
Yeah,
and so I would feel like if I were her, I need to distance myself and make a name for myself. So, I can kind of understand that. Now she's getting in her twilight years and, just growing more fond of her entire life's work and stuff. So it makes sense to me, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe she has a better perspective on it now or something. But.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get closer to the end, you start seeing the whole sphere in front of you. So.
Sure, man.
But
sure.
No, I think it will. And I think this trilogy is going to fare really good in like a decade. I think people are going to. I mean, because it's well made. I mean, maybe the writing choices and character choices, you still wouldn't like, but it seems like a modern movie with a ton of money behind it. Compared to a lot of the other films. So, I think it will.
Yeah, and we got what, we should have gotten 3 years, but we ended up having 5 years, a waiting time, but that's not too bad. And I had some like really fun Halloweens because I got to go to the movie and see a Halloween movie, in October. So that was fucking badass too. So I'm like grateful for that,
Yeah. My other thing though is that this whole legacy sequel shit is getting really tired. The Texas Chainsaw one that came out like last year or so. Ooh, I did really like that movie. Yes, I really liked it, but they had to have like a legacy character in there, and it's the same thing that they did in this film, and it just did not.
Feels like it's a cheap trick, kind of a little bit, like,
right? Yeah, and the Saw, the latest.
I haven't
Saw
seen that yet.
Is essentially a legacy sequel. Essentially,
yeah. Because they figure, hey, we gotta get those old fans in here. We gotta, give them what they want, but also make it new and modern or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just the same old thing. It's like becoming predictable at this point.
Yeah, and with the Saw films, I mean, once they killed off the Jigsaw, it was diminishing returns, just down the line.
Yeah.
It just didn't make as much sense with multiple proteges and stuff like that. So that makes sense. And the way they did it, I felt like was pretty smart. And it's definitely one of the better sequels. I recommend watching it if you're a fan of that series at all. It doesn't do anything too new, except there's a lot. I mean, it's like Jigsaw's. That movie should be called Jigsaw.
No, right?
It's
really?
like Jigsaw front to back. He's not the guy on the floor anymore. He's the guy up front. And Tobin Bell, he's like 80. He's pretty old at this point. So it's like, well, if we got him and he wants to work, then let's do something with him. So
fuck yeah, dude.
But overall, the whole legacy thing, I mean, even with The Exorcist, that's a legacy sequel.
They're gonna beat this dead horse endlessly until the money's not there.
It worked. It worked here, so let's keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that they're there to. Hollywood's an industry that needs to make money, so I get it. I'm not an idiot. It's money first, art second, of course. So
I know I'm probably in the minority here, but I'm like one of the people that would love to see them pursue the Jamie Lloyd timeline, after 4. Let's see Jamie Lloyd pick up the knife and carry on the legacy, because like they could do Michael again, and I'd be happy to see it. I would buy a ticket, but what could they possibly fucking do at this point?
If they got Danielle Harris to come back, she would be. I mean, that would be as big as when Jamie Lee came back in H2O the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a huge draw on its own.
Yeah, because she's so connected to the fans, because she's always out there, and so hasn't fallen away. And we got cheated from her performance in 5. Not cheated, you know what I mean? Like she turned it down and whatever. But
part 6, the curse.
I'm sorry, 6, not 5, 6. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, 5 didn't do her any favors either.
Yeah,
it was. They kind of did to her what they did to Laurie in Halloween 2. It's like, put her in the background or made her mute and all that shit. So,
I always thought that if they did it right, they could be cool and they could redeem that whole kind of story arc or whatever.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But then it's just another. Yeah, I don't know, legacy sequel. I would say, Season of the Witch Part 2. Let's. It doesn't even have to. They can. Like Blumhouse, their whole model of making something with $5 million and then making, 80 off of it. You could do that with Season of the Witch. It doesn't need that much special effects and stuff.
If there was an official Season of the Witch sequel and they package it the right way, the fans would be huge. I'm not even that big of a fan of Halloween 3. I've always been one of those guys. I'm like, I don't really get it, but I know I'm tapped in enough to the fucking fandom to know that they did it right. They marketed that shit right. You get an Atkins fucking cameo in there. Or the people, I don't know. Alive? That's the problem. It doesn't have the wide market appeal.
Yeah,
but if they maybe did a really good, like, I don't know, Shudder drop or something with it, like a direct to streaming on Shudder or something like that, could be really cool.
Yeah,
if I ask my lady or my mom, like, do you ever heard of Season of the Witch, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? She'd be like, fuck no. Like, what?
Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah. I mean, I took my girlfriend to see Halloween Ends, and she was like here in my room, and I got the box set over there, and she's like, they made how many of these Halloween movies? I'm like, too many. Don't worry about it. She's like, well, I need to know about it. It's like, no, you don't. It's the guy in a mask. He's going to kill some people. I'm not telling you shit. Yeah. I'm not going through some.
It's funny you say that, because the other day I came home and you know, I was like, I had like my 6-pack of beer, and I was like lighting the fireplace and booting up the TV. She's like, "So what's on the agenda tonight? Halloween 5,642." And I was like, 43 actually. She knows. I mean, that just, you know, it is what it is. But
Actually, we're gonna
if I
watch
don't love
Jason X. Okay.
you. Gee, leave me alone.
Yeah, get out of my room.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for coming on,
yeah.
dude. It's
Absolutely.
always great
Of course.
hanging out with you. You know, always try to touch base with you, see how life's going. And you're like, we should maybe do a Halloween movie, you know, I think we were talking about maybe Friday the 13th, and timeline didn't let it happen. But I was like, maybe we could squeeze it in right before Halloween. So
yeah, it worked out because this past few weeks when we could have done it, I've been busy. And so this one, worked out. So yeah, it's good.
So yes,
Always like
check out Wizzel's show, the Banana Laser Show on YouTube. It's excellent. I think you guys have about 60 shows and plus fan commentaries, and I really love it. Highly recommend it. Hilarious, a lot of fucking great production value, and it's just good stuff. Really good podcast. So go check that out. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, and happy Halloween, guys. I hope you enjoyed this fan commentary from Our Age Show. Matt, thanks again for coming on. I really appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
Happy Halloween, my friend.
Happy Halloween.
Cheers.